It's the 30th anniversary of Scrooged, so we're looking back at the modern Christmas Carol starring Bill Murray. Here are 7 things you didn't know about Scrooged. Probably. Scrooged starts out with a montage of commercials for IBC's upcoming Christmas programming. We see a commercial for a fictitious The Night the Reindeer Died, a movie I so wish were real, Bob Goulet's old-fashioned Cajun Christmas, and a live telecast of A Christmas Carol featuring the real solid gold dancers as the Scroogettes. Unfortunately, this was the last real-life filmed appearance of the solid gold dancers, as their show, Solid Gold, was canceled in July the same year Scrooged came out. At least they made sure they were properly covered. Fun fact about Tasty Hoots, Jack McGee improvised the line,
You can hardly see them nipples.
See, and these guys are really looking.
Scrooged is full of deep cuts to Murray's career that, without any context, kind of don't make any sense. For instance, Frank is harassed at the shelter into doing an impression of Richard Burton. He does it, and it's remarkably spot on.
Hej, Mark, nobody can come out before me. All those who go before me, listen here, you know, the rain before nightfall of cheer.
And it's because this is a reference to a skit Murray did on SNL in 1975, where he initially imitated Burton.
Elizabeth Taylor was not only a very intelligent woman, in addition to being a very talented actress, but she's also a very hot tomato, if you know what I mean.
In the flashback to Christmas Past, Frank reads from a book and says
there's a place that you can touch a woman that'll make her bark like a dog.
Which is a reference to his characters in Caddyshack.
Come on, bark like a dog for me.
And Ghostbusters.
She barks, she drools, she claws.
Another possible Caddyshack reference? The golf ball that appears in his drink could be a nod to our favorite greensman. So, you know, that reference has that going for it. This film was a comeback of sorts for Bill Murray, who had taken a 4-year break after Ghostbusters and a brief appearance in Little Shop of Horrors. Emphasizing that, promos marketed Scrooged as Murray's return to playing against ghosts. Except instead of 1 ghost, he's dealing with 3. It was then later changed to quote something from the film instead.
It is important to remember the true meaning of Christmas.
At the end of the film, Murray, who famously improvises his lines, shouts,
Feed me, Seymour, feed me.
A line from Little Shop of Horrors, in which he played Steve Martin's patient. Comedian Sam Kinison was considered for the role of Ghost of Christmas Past, but David Johansen from the New York Dolls ended up getting the role since he was a close friend of Bill Murray. David Johansen also had a short gig as the guy who sang Hot Hot Hot, a Buster Poindexter video that Bill Murray also appeared in. But to make matters worse for Sam Kinison, rival Bobcat Goldthwait booked the role of Elliot Loudermilk, making Scrooged a real 0 for 2 kind of deal for Kinison. Carol Kane plays the kooky, unpredictable, and all-up-in-your-face Ghost of Christmas Present, appearing to Frank as a fairy in a Wizard of Oz-like vision. In a nod to the classic film, the Ghost of Christmas Present says,
I'm a little muddled.
when she first meets Frank, just as Glinda the Good Witch does when she first meets Dorothy.
Well, I'm a little muddled.
Kane's Ghost of Christmas Present was anything but Glinda the Good Witch, though, as Frank and Bill Murray take quite a bit of physical abuse. Kane accidentally ripped a piece of tissue that connects the lip to the gums, and production actually had to stop for a few days while Murray recovered. Scrooged is definitely a family affair, as all Murray brothers make an appearance in the film. Brian Doyle Murray plays Frank's father, Earl Cross. John Murray plays Frank's brother James, and Joel Murray plays the guest at James's party, which I guess makes him Bill's least favorite brother. Frank Cross exhibits his terrible Christmas spirit early on, heckling a group of street musicians.
Great, rip off the Hicks, why don't you? Did you learn the song yesterday? Sweet.
A quartet made up of none other than Miles Davis, Larry Carlton, David Sanborn, and Paul Schaefer. Schaefer, who was of course David Letterman's band leader for many years, was also a band member on SNL. He played musicians in sketches that involved singers or other music, such as Bill Murray's Lounge Singers.
Star Wars, those near it, fireworks.
That's all we have for this episode of Things You Didn't Know, but let us know in the comments if you wish the live version of A Christmas Carol with Mary Lou Retton as Tiny Tim should have been a real thing, and subscribe to CineFix for more true-ish things about movies, and sometimes Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars, right here on Things You Didn't Know.